Hello everyone. Welcome back. I'm Bumi, and today we are watching Casually Explained Moving Out by Casually Explained. Yes, despite me currently living in my grandmother's house right now, I have moved out before. Well, around a year after I stopped college to work, um, my family and I had a falling out where I decided to move out with the little money that I got from my work. I moved in with a couple of friends from my college that found an apartment somewhere in the city where it's basically close enough to where I work that it's just one ride away. It was an okay experience, to say the least. I had a lot of good times living with them, and the best how do you call this, the best benefit was that it was very near my workplace, where I used to take around an hour or two of commute would only now take a couple of minutes and just one ride. So that's one thing that I really liked about moving out. Also, the independence felt good. That is where I really learned how to budget my money because I wasn't earning much, and with that, plus paying the bills, rent, and paying for your own food, that really taught me how to budget my money and to spend it wisely, which I am until today I'm still doing. So yeah, moving out can give you a lot of good life lessons. So I would suggest doing that and at least experience it for a year or two. After that, I went home based and we moved a couple of times. Then, when I got home base, I saved up enough money to be able to continue my studies and went back to Dipolog to finish my last year of studies. Then, after that, well, I actually graduated in 2020. The pandemic hit, so I was stuck in Dipolog for around a year or so. Then I moved back to my parents' place, and since then I'm back here now, still living with my parents and grandparents. Well, I could move out, but it's not necessary for me. Yeah, it's let's just put it at that. It's not necessary. It's an unnecessary expense, let's just say. And there's no real benefit to me moving out now. So yeah, I'm just gonna stay in our home until I end up owning it, I guess. But yeah, let's go ahead and check the video out. So remember, if you like my reactions, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on the video down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. Again, we are trying to get to 1,000 subs this year, so hopefully you guys can help me out with that. Damn, I really thought I had more stories about moving out, but yeah, don't forget to leave your suggestions on what I should check on next. That being said, let's go ahead and watch the video.
Moving out is one of the most exciting milestones of any young person's life if you define young as roughly under 30. And from the moment you start looking for your own place, right up until you start living off microwave noodles and Lucky
Oh,
Charms, the entire process is filled with unexpected things that no one has ever told you about, but they really should have. So, the first thing that
yes.
happens, obviously, is deciding to move out. Because in this day and age, if your parents decide to kick you out, it's honestly like throwing a baby bird out of the nest when it's still an egg, or like releasing a domestic rabbit straight into the wok of a Chinese restaurant. So, then,
Oh,
assuming you're
damn.
personally ready to take the leap, the next thing you say to yourself is, all right, do I want a roommate or not? And of course you don't, but check with your savings account because it's the one that calls all the shots in this
YouTube is a
relationship.
stable
And once
career.
you deal with that hurdle, we start getting to the exciting part, which is looking at places to move to. So open up Craigslist
Oh
and use it.
yeah, that part as well. I really hate that part because I'm very picky on where I live. I want it to be close enough to get food without having to travel, and the food has to be, since I'm a very picky eater, I need to be able to want the food that's available nearby, or else I'll just end up eating barbecue all the time. Um, Now that I have a truck though, it's not so much of a problem if I move out now. Now that I have like savings that I could use, but back then when I barely have enough money, I really didn't have much choice. I mean, I even considered a room that's only big enough. to fit a bed, and probably like not even probably a foot or two leeway from the bed to the next wall, because it was so cheap and I didn't have money. I didn't end up going there just because it was in a very sketchy area, and the neighbors looked like they were for sure gonna steal our stuff when we weren't there. So yeah,
Using their
that was a
interactive map
no.
that shows you nearby listings, you can start looking at places in the most expensive parts of town and
No.
then gradually lower your standards as you come to grips with reality.
Yeah, I'm good with a studio apartment. It doesn't even have to be that big as long as I can walk around without feeling like too claustrophobic. Let's see. It should have enough room for my computer. Um, well, enough room for a bed, and probably enough room for a hot pot. And I think with that, I should be good.
Then, when you finally find a place that you'll settle for, you
And your own bathroom. That is one thing that I really like need. I don't wanna go and like deal with the hassles of having a communal bathroom. And also I don't well, before I kind of have to live with roommates, but now that I have my own savings, I'm gonna opt out of roommates.
have to send a message to the owners and hope they'll also settle for you. Now, a lot of people see a
Because
place they really like, but tell
I'm
themselves,
selectively
"Oh, there's no
social.
way I'd qualify. It's probably gone already. It's too expensive, and the owners would never lower the rent for me." So they aim too low and end up dissatisfied. So when it comes to contacting different owners or landlords, you really need to think of the whole situation like dating. And just like when you're into someone but
Ugh,
are too afraid to ask them out, remind
something I'm
yourself that
very
you're never
inept
going to
at.
see that person again and that you have nothing to lose except all your self esteem. Now, an important thing to keep in mind if you get interviewed or have to fill in a detailed application is not to overthink the dumb questions. Do you play drums? Just say no. Do you have many parties? Just say no.
No.
Do you have a lot of loud sex? That one's
No.
self evident.
Oh, which way are you leaning with that one? Because I don't get any at
The
all.
questions are as blunt as you think they are.
Uh,
It's not some personality quiz. You should treat it like the part of the customs form at the airport that asks you, have you been involved with a terrorist organization in the last 7 years? Don't start thinking, well, technically it's only been 6 years and 8 months. It's a trick. Just put no. This all ties back to my golden rule. If you're a terrorist, don't say you are. So if you do get lucky enough that they're still interested in you despite your lack of experience, the property owners, they're going to ask for a letter of recommendation from your previous landlord. So tell them, no problem, I'll ask my mom. They're going to love that, and then they might also ask for a reference from your employer. So I like to link my YouTube channel and hope for the best. So far, the best has never
please
happened.
subscribe. Yeah,
Now, assuming the
guys,
landlord
please
has for
subscribe
some reason chosen
to
you as the
me.
most qualified person for their unit, it's time to sign on the dotted line. And as you struggle to write your name cursively for the first time, you can quietly reassure yourself that you're an adult. As we flash forward a couple weeks later,
I
when
hate
it comes
writing in
time to
cursive.
move in, if you have roommates, that's great because they can help you move all your stuff, as in your computer. So
Actually, yeah, that would be me. If I'll be moving out, it's just probably one or two suitcase of well, suitcase. I say suitcase, but one or two luggages of clothes, two towels, and my PC. That's it. Probably the table that I use.
So once you stock up on the essentials and it's actually livable, after only a few days you'll notice there are a million things that are going to happen that you didn't expect, like getting calls from your parents where they sound suspiciously happy. There's also a ton of things you have to learn that they never taught you in school, like how to stop the government from taking away your electricity and avoiding starvation. If you live with a
Yeah,
roommate, you have to constantly deal with their shit. Them not doing the dishes, not putting away their clothes, internet
yeah.
usage spikes at 1 a.m. or whenever they take a shower for some reason you pretend
Yeah, after my whole experience living with roommates, I tend to avoid that. Again, now that I can afford a full apartment on my own, I'm never gonna be getting roommates ever again.
to not understand. And of course, having to deal with neighbors who get way more sex than you. But on the other hand, if you live by yourself, you have to
Oh
constantly deal with your
man,
own
yeah,
self sabotage
I've
because no one
experienced
can
that
hold you
before.
accountable for anything. Like when you first move in, you're thinking, oh man, I'm going to keep this place spick and span, have my friends over every weekend, host a
Yep,
cocktail night for my family, learn to cook, take an hour every evening before
I know
bed
how
to
to
read
cook.
and relax. But 3 months later, you'll be lying on an uncovered mattress at 3 a.m.
Oh
listening
yes, that's right. That's true. When I was living with my friends with back in college, I didn't have well, I thought of buying an air mattress. I ended up with like this thick foam mattress and probably one of those, I don't even know what you call it in English. Like just a mat that you place under it. And then after we moved out to the new place, it's still the same roommates. I actually found something that has the mat, but it also like attached with a very thin layer of mattress. That's what I used.
to your neighbors try to save their marriage and wondering how long it would take for someone to notice if you didn't wake up. Finally, a month or two later, you'll get hit with your first bills: water, heat, electricity, internet, phone, Netflix, and more rent. This is the price you pay for growing up, but don't
Yeah.
worry, we all regret it. The good news is you only have to deal with it for around 60 more years, and by then, maybe you'll even have your own kids who will still live with you.
Oh shit. Oh no, click the wrong thing. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a really good one. I would say that if you haven't experienced living on your own, or even if you have roommates, I would still call it living on your own. Basically, away from your parents. Even though it's hard, it's complicated, and probably not financially like smart, it is still a very good experience. It is nice to have that independence of just being your well, being free from the shackles of your parents. That's probably not a good way to put it. But regardless, yeah, I would still highly recommend you try to move out if you can, and if possible without roommates, because man, let me tell you, we came so many times we came this close to ending friendships because man, that's probably one of the things why, if before you marry someone, it's better to have like a trial period and live in together to see what people are when they're at home. But yeah, mm, that is why I really don't like roommates. I'm probably gonna end up alone, but that's okay. I like myself alone anyway. Free from free from the disturbances of other people. Especially since I'm a very particular person. I like certain things to be in a certain way, and I'm very finicky with stuff, and I don't like confrontations. So usually when I don't like something, it just ends up, well, either I clean it up or it just ends up there. But yeah, still an experience, a must have experience for everyone, so that you can get a little taste of adult life. But that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Link to my Twitter is down in the description below. Go to check it out if you want to. And if you're new here and enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on the video down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. Again, we are trying to get to 1,000 subs this year, so hopefully you guys can help me out with that. Also, don't forget to leave your suggestions on what I should check out next. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!